All right, what is going on, guys? It is Storytime of Crimes here, or Shane Dryer. So before we get into this story, I just want to let you guys know that I am intoxicated. I work for a company, and they're great. I have now 3 weeks of employment down, and I decided to tell some stories. Now, I've done a ton of different versions, ton of different stories, drawings, photography, guitar videos, football videos, even videos in between and some random topics, music, albums, song rankings of my own songs. You fucking name it. If there's something I haven't done that's in the realms of reality, let me fucking know, and I'll sure as hell fucking do it as long as it doesn't get me hurt or arrested. I'll do it. I'm drunk. I'm telling the story drunk. So, there's these stories. 6 stories. Okay? So, I'm going to go through all 6 of them because I actually have them written down for once. The first story is when I drank half a bottle of tincture. Now, if you don't know what tincture is, it's basically marijuana that's really, really isolated, and it's like a drink. So basically, imagine like taking a whole bottle of vodka and like condensing it into one single shot. Except it's the idea with pot. So you drink like half a bottle of tincture, you're so stoned, you're starting to trip. Story about that. There's a story where my buddy gave me a half-gram dab, which is marijuana that's been pressed. I'm gonna assume, I don't know, I don't fucking give a fuck. I just work. I'm gonna tell a story about a bong I bought that was almost 3/4 the size of my own body, which is pretty cool. I'm going to tell a story back in 2020 when I was in college where I smoked out of a Rick and Morty bong in a basement, but a lot of things went pretty fucking gangstery. And 6 is going to be like a 3-in-1, but it's going to be like one of those like typical Shane Dryer videos where like I do like the ending or like a part of the video where like there's like 3 story times. The one's the main one, but then the rest are like kind of like smaller events that also happened in relation to the event. But yeah, so you know what, real quick before I get in this video, I'm trying to get this to about 40 minutes so I can record a Madden gameplay, all Madden, 20-5, the vibes and all that shit. Sorry about that. I'm actually going to take care of that problem right there, and I'm going to leave the media just in case. I'm going to turn off the vibrate on my phone because these new phones have vibrate turn-off ability compared to my Samsung Galaxy A70. They have new vibrate turn-off ability, and they have screen recording as well, which is cool. But they also have audio recording here too, which you're hearing right now. So it's definitely really rad. But yeah, I'm an adult. Linda can suck my dick, for lack of better words. I'm an adult. I have these beers here. I just got done with a 7-hour work shift, and it was on the books, and I'm cooked. I'm good. I'm chilling. So, without further ado, let's get into these stories. So, first story is a tincture. So, my buddies and I, we know people, right? I'm not going to say which reservation, and I'm not going to say which people. But my buddy and I know a connect on the Indian reservation that sells legit, real, hardcore, very potent tincture that comes in a little pink bottle. I'll reveal that if you can even somehow guess where it's from. Only my friends will know because I've told the story to people I know closely. So we go out to this store where our connect runs the business, and we purchase a couple bottles of this tincture. Well, me, my best friend, or one of my best friends, I have about 3. My best friend, besides my girlfriend's number 1, me and my best friend, and his sister's boyfriend. No, hold up. That's a different story. I fucked that up. It's not him. It was one of his friends, but I consider his sister's boyfriend a friend. So I get things confused and I'm drunk. Regardless, one of his buddies comes with us to buy this tincture. Well, when we buy this tincture, we get extremely impulsive, right? And we decide to take these 2 whole bottles of tincture, which, by the way, taking a sip of tincture, even with the tolerance, is enough to get you high to put you to sleep, let alone drinking half a bottle. So each one of us, and it wasn't even half, it was about 3/4. There's 3 of us. Each one of us takes about 3/4 of the bottle to add up to about 2 bottles. We measured out pretty accurately. And we had just gone to McDonald's, and on the way to the rest, because there's a McDonald's on the way to this reservation, we had bought 3 Sprites because we knew what was going to happen, but we didn't know what was going to be. I didn't know it was going to be that much tincture. So we dumped this tincture in all of our cups for about 3/4 of a bottle of tincture each. And we drank it. Well, on the way back to this place we were staying at was about 40 minutes. And by about the 20-minute mark, we're all like laughing our ass off. We are fucking fucked up, but it gets even worse. So, take a sip of beer. We get back to this place. We all go to our individual rooms. And, what do you know? I get a phone call. Now, when I get this phone call, at this point, I had drank so much tincture. I was in the corner of my room, crouched down on the floor, raking out, tripping, but at this point, tripping off of marijuana extract at this point, because I took so much of it. I consumed so much THC that I was hallucinating off of it, tripping. And I'm crouched down trying to fight the bands I'm listening to through my cell phone because I'm monkeying out. I'm raking out at this point. Well, I get a call and I answer because it's my buddies. And you guys are going to fucking roll around. The two other buddies had their girlfriends. So, my buddy had his girlfriend and his buddy's buddy had his girlfriend. Well, my buddy is not like fist fighting, but like threatening to fist fight his own girlfriend. Because he's fucking hallucinating big time. And when you take so much marijuana that you're hallucinating off of it, it's not like shrooms or acid or coffee. It's not like any high. Like each high is different, right? But if you get to the point where you consume so much THC that you're hallucinating off of it, you are going to have a unique experience. Well, I was raked out trying to fight people through my own cell phone, which is delusional, and I'm not like that. My buddy was trying to fist fight his own girlfriend, and my other buddy, his buddy's buddy, excuse me, I'm drunk. His buddy, my buddy's buddy, what I meant to say, was claiming that he was a prostitute because he was fucking freaking out, and so were all of us, all three of us men, because it was only the men that took him in the vehicle. All three of us men were fucking gone. But the story ended happily. No cops got called. Nobody wound up fist fighting. But it was very delusional. I remember the colors. I started seeing colors. I took so much THC. I remember the colors. It was incredible. But it was fucked up. Don't repeat. And I've said this in all my story times. And I am drunk. I don't care. Do not ever repeat this stuff. Ever. Ever. Don't ever repeat it. You can go to jail. You can fight somebody. You can fuck somebody up. You can have a fucking episode and go to the mental hospital. And that's just this story. I mentioned all the other stories. I have gotten away with everything. Do not do this stuff on your own. You will get caught. I'm super smart. You will get caught. Okay. Let's get the Kevin shit out the way because I'm so drunk. I'm not usually like this, impulsive like this, but I'm drunk. Please forgive me if you're listening. Keep watching. It's funny. Second story out of 6. This is a 1 in 6 story time. So, I'm going to tell a quick story about the time that my buddy gave me a hit of dabs off of a dab rig, but it was half a gram, which is quite a lot of dabs. Probably about $40 maybe. No, maybe 20, but it was a lot of dabs. So, me and my buddy, we've been smoking dabs for about a month. I took maybe like 1/16 at the most gram of dabs if I had to estimate it. But my buddy decided to test my limits and test how hard I really was. Which my dad and I and his dad's dad, all Polish Navy SEALs, and I wasn't, but I'm still tough and smart and very persistent. My buddy wanted to test me. He's smart. He knows who I am. So, well, he tested me all right. So, he gave me a half a gram dab, and when he heated this thing up, he said half a gram, right? I was thinking, okay, it ain't gonna be that bad. Well, I underestimated him because when this little piece that I was using to inhale through the dab rig, the dabs, heated up, and he put the dab in it, I shit my pants before I took the hit, and I took the whole hit too because I wanted to be a fucking boss or whatever. So. motherfucker. So, there goes the phone, right? So, another phone where I'm reading these stories off of. I ain't gonna lie. So, anyways, it gives me a half a gram dab, and I'm looking at this thing as I'm hitting it and shitting my pants because I knew what was about to happen when I'm about to describe. I knew it was going to happen. When I'm about to describe, I knew it was going to happen. So, gives me this huge fucking dab, and I cough up a storm in the room so bad to the point where usually when I cough up a storm, I can have my friends calm me down. Couldn't even calm me down. They couldn't do it. I fucking absolutely skitzed out because I was so high and coughing so bad. I went out to my vehicle at the time because I have sold this vehicle as of recently because I'm not going to waste money like Linda claims I do. Sold the vehicle. Anyways, at the time, walked out to this vehicle. I was coughing so bad that even after I left my friends after 5 minutes of straight coughing, I was still in my truck fucking coughing my lungs out. And it was so bad at one point that I'm drunk, that I was foaming. And then let me tell you something. I might be drunk. I get loud when I'm drunk, but everything else about my stories, the validity, the emphasis, everything is legit. I was foaming at the mouth. I'll stop yelling. I was foaming at the mouth. Absolutely coughing so hard that I can't even lie to any of you guys. I legitimately thought I was going to have a heart attack because I was coughing that hard, and like rabies and things like that, severe diseases make people foam at the mouth. I swear to God, I took so hard of a dab to all of you stoners that I was foaming at the mouth. I'm almost convinced it was 3/4, if not a whole gram of dabs that I took. It was that intense. I was foaming at the mouth. Thought I was going to have a heart attack. Still alive, miraculously. That long bong was the one I've been waiting to tell. So, near where I live, and no confidential information has been released by saying that, near where I live, or what I'm about to say, near where I live is a dispensary. And at this dispensary, they have cool things like tapestry, mushroom and pot, inscribed lighters, Zippo lighters, like very trippy lighters. They have pot, vapes. They sell everything, and it's local. It's not even on the res, and I'm not going to say where it is. I don't give a fuck. Come to my house, cops. I'll tell you where it is, and I won't. So bullshit. Fuck you. But no, they can suck my dick. Anyways, so what the fuck, if I didn't do nothing wrong, what the fuck am I going to do with it, you know? Fuck you. Anyways, at this exact time, they haven't had one before or since, but at this exact time I walked into the store, they had a bong, like a bong you smoke weed out of, that was 3/4, if not about half, at the very minimum, my height. It was a giant bong, you guys. Huge. And we smoked out of this bong all night. It's on my Instagram if you really want to find it. King Shane is God. You want to find my Instagram? Try and find the video. You won't. It's buried in a ton of posts. But there's a video on there, and I know where it is, of me hitting a bong. It's all the way at the end. And I hit a bong that was huge, giant bong. Well, me and my buddy smoked out of it. We're so stoned, we're fucking freaking out. Whatever, that's not important. It's a short story. This bong broke. So my buddy and his girlfriend, we were staying at a place that we rented separate rooms. Sorry. I'm just being an asshole now. We rented separate rooms though, and I decided, because I was trying to sleep and I somehow felt like I was going to knock it over, that I felt safe keeping these, what I know as still, but I thought she was, but anyways, what I know as these guys is being smart, but at the time I was like, these guys are smart, they're not going to knock over the bong. So, put the bong in their room, and his girlfriend gets up at some point while we're gone and calls us crying, saying that she knocked the bong over. Well, when this girl knocks the bong over, she had a piece of glass ricochet and it had cut her open. Either that or she had fallen. Either way, regardless, when this girl tripped over this bong and it shattered, she had cut her thigh open pretty bad. Not bad to the point where it was severed, but because it was bleeding so heavily, as it should, she thought it was severed by a major artery, and so did we. So we freaked out. We got there, got her bandaged up, and she felt all right. So we said, okay, and the bleeding stopped pretty quickly. So we said, okay, it's not severed. We knew it wasn't severed, but she was freaking out. Regardless, she's telling me, oh, I'm sorry, right? I'm just trying to race through these. She says, oh, I'm sorry. You know who you are, if you ever even hear this, or if your boyfriend hears this, he's my best friend, don't be sorry about something like that. a piece of glass that's $200 is replaceable, your life is not ever going to come back. Do not trip over broken glass or spilled milk. But okay, we're right through that. I'm not going to say the circumstances, but at one point in my life, I was having a rough time, and it was recently. I was having a rough time because of Linda and the bullshit. So I decided to, at this particular night, that is not going to be dated, was deciding to get really drunk off liquor. Well, what's also hearsay, as all these stories, except for the ones that have legit proof, and those are already been dealt with. So fuck you, Linda. All these stories are hearsay, including what I've said thus far in this exact video and most of the other ones and what I'm about to say currently. I drove, right? I drove my car drunk. Yeah, fuck it. Well, it's no proof. So I drove drunk, and I was so drunk, I was getting pissed off about things that I would normally get pissed off about, but keep my mouth shut or not react. But I was reacting so bad that I started taking corners with my car. Now, if you don't know what it means by taking corners with a car, I'm talking about drifting streets. I'm talking about pulling up to an intersection, not like an intersection where it's got a light, but like a stop sign leading to another road. And so drunk that I'm not looking, and I'll admit, I wasn't looking to the left to see there was a car coming. It was at night, at like 2 a.m, so I assume there's nobody there. But you can never assume no matter what time of day you're driving. And I'll admit though, even though I was making poor decisions morally, meaning pulling out in front of cars that could have possibly been there, I was very coordinated, as I always am. Super coordinated. Very good coordination skills. I have a gift from God. I was taking this car. I did this probably, now if I were to count it, I'd estimate about 20 times, but it could be a little lower or a little more. I'm not sure, but if I were to take a good guess, I'd say about 20 times. I took this corner drifting an SUV, hitting the gas so hard and cutting the wheel so hard that it was literally wheel spinning around corners about 20 times and never crashed once. One time I came close, but I recovered before crashing the vehicle, which is incredible. And I took it back to my home and I said, fuck it, I'm getting out the car before I actually get caught drunk driving. But I'm only saying that, and this is one of the stories where I will brag that I have such good coordination gifts that I could drift a car around a corner. I can just drift an SUV without flipping it around a corner. So you can, if you think I'm a retard like Linda or a stupid idiot, yes, I am, as far as like sometimes the moral decisions. But right now I have a job. I've been 3 weeks. I've been 6 months clean. I've been 3 weeks working. I'm great. Drinking doesn't matter. I'm an adult. I can drink alcohol. That's the only thing substance I've done. You can test my, right now, if you ask me right now in this exact moment to piss in a cup, I could piss clean. No Xanax, cocaine, heroin, meth, marijuana, whatever they test for on these panels. Nothing will come up because I've done nothing in at the very least past 6 months. The last thing I did was pot. And I haven't done any hard drugs in a year and a half since almost a year and a half, since I graduated from Huntington Creek in Pennsylvania. So Linda can suck my dick. You killed my mom, you bitch. I was struggling, bitch. I'm gonna stop swearing on YouTube. This is going on YouTube. Regardless. You guys, this is an only drunk story time. It's funny though. Got coordination gifts. We're past that. On to the fifth story. So, when I was in college, now these are all recent, including the next one, but this one story, number 5 out of 1 and 6, is going to be about the time that I was in college. Now, when I was in college, I was going to my classes for the first month. I will admit I fucked up at the end, but it doesn't matter. You can fuck up college. It's not illegal, right? And I paid them back. It's not, and I did pay them back too. It's not illegal to fuck up college. So I fucked up, but the first month I was doing my classes. One between my classes because I'm a multi-trip, and I will say this right now because I wanted to say this whole time, and I might be drunk saying this, doesn't matter. I am a human being that is very gifted from God. I have coordination gifts, smarts gifts, hustling gifts, so I can go a long way. I have very physically apt gifts. I can do a lot of hard labor and a lot of movement and a lot of different social situations without getting overwhelmed to the point where most people would crash out. You feel me? My biological father, and I know this for a fact, my biological father, who has him, his father, and his father's father, all three, my dad, my grandpa, my great-grandfather, were all Polish Navy SEALs, right? They are hard motherfuckers, okay? And so am I. but still smart within the respects of the United States citizenship and the laws. That's how smart we are. I don't gotta say nothing else. My dad and his dad said we're all Polish SEALs who got out of the military. My great-grandfather was a Polish Navy SEAL in World War II. My grandfather was the one that skipped out. He wasn't in the war, but he was a Polish Navy SEAL. And my father was a Polish Navy SEAL in 1993 in the fucking Desert Storm. Don't tell me I'm a fucking loser. People like Linda, I'm a fucking loser. You can piss off with that crap. Anyways, not only do I have that going for me, I have a coordination gift. I have physical abilities. I'm huge. I don't even work out. And not only do I not work out and I'm ripped, but even 23andMe DNA, which I tested my DNA with both Ancestry and 23andMe, did 23andMe tell me that I have the genetics of a pro athlete. Meaning I could be if I worked out, I could have been a defensive linebacker, and I would have been a good one too because I'm real smart. I would have been a great defensive linebacker for an NFL football team. And that's why if any of my kids get the fucking strong genes, I'm getting them in. Even my adoptive father, my mother's father, when he woke me up the one day when I was 13 years old, I was sleeping with my arms up on my head so you could see me flexing naturally. He looked at me as a child and said that I could actually be ripped if I wanted to. At age 13. Don't tell me shit. Fuck all that bragging though. We're back to the college story. And yes, I'm intoxicated. I'm allowed to be intoxicated in a quiet environment where nothing is being harmed. So, in 2020, in September of 2020, I was in college. Well, this drug dealer I've mentioned in a couple other previous stories, like I'll mention the story of me, highest fucking lost in the woods story way back in the beginning of my channel. Same dealer. He sold me a ton of pot. Well, this time was no different, except when I went to his house this time, he had his girlfriend over, and his girlfriend was one of those girls where like she wasn't completely white, she was Hispanic and white, and she knew Hispanic connections. She had like a bunch of strippers around, right, and cocaine and drugs. Like usually when I went over to his house, there was nobody there except him, and it was all pot. But she had tons of women over, strippers and friends. Well, all of us went into the basement of this apartment complex and got stoned as fuck. Well, I titled this story 2020 College Rick and Morty Bomb. Well, the retarded stoners, even though they were gangsters and strippers and you name it, of course they had the generational Rick and Morty stupid ass bong sitting there. So I hit this bitch. I'm high as fuck. This dude sells me a bag of pot just like he did in the previous story. He sells me another bag of pot, but he's such a fucking G. He's such a fucking G that he lets me hit a strain of weed I didn't try or pay for. 2 times. Didn't try or pay for. And I'm so high at this point, I'm like, well, first of all, I'm thinking in my head, first of all, I got to get back to college. I'm out here at 1 in the morning. I have a 3-hour walk ahead of me, and I have college in the morning. I need to get the fuck back. The other part of me is telling me there is cocaine being snorted, there's illegal drugs being shot here, and I'm not involved in it, but I do not want to be brought down if and when the cops get called. So I said to the guys politely out loud this time, I'm leaving. I need to get home. I told them the truth so they wouldn't think I was fucking trying to snitch on them or lying, because I'm not a snitch, but I didn't want them to think that. I said, I'm leaving. I have to go. And I told them, I was like, I have college next morning. I'm gone. So I'm so drunk. I'm trying to tell the story, but this is all legit. So I leave, and just like the walk on my story time where I said highest fucking lost in the woods on my story time in the beginning of my channel, I talked about the trail. I had to walk out of this dude's house all the way down a road, which was his same street, so it wasn't that confusing. I walked out of his house, down his road. At the end of his road, there's a left or a right. You make a right, it takes you straight up to the Erie Canal. Now, the college was right next to the Erie Canal on the left, but this path that takes you to the left goes through the woods the whole way. So, mind you, I'm stoned as fuck. Paranoid, right? And I could have taken the long way with lights, but there was like probably an extra 30 minutes walking, which my feet wouldn't want to handle it. I was like, fuck it. So I use my phone's flashlight and I get all the way through. And I get all the way back, just like the last story. I get all the way back to the college. Everything's fine. This time I learned the trail. If you listen to that story, this time I learned the trail, so I knew which trail to take to get back. I didn't get lost this time, but I made it back. That's a short one. So, wow, I heard something weird. So, story number 6, 7, and 8, but all in one is being short stories. Technically, story number 6. They're all different events, and I'm marking it number 1. Near where I live, there is an intersection of stop signs and curvature roads. It's like a bunch of different intersections at once in a small area. That is really dangerous. Well, basically, let's say you're heading down this road I'm talking about. The road curves to the right and keeps going down to another intersection. But at the same time, to the left, there's a jut off to this curve to the right. And let's say you were coming down this curve to the right, coming the other way, there's another jut that both meet at a stop sign with another 2 roads. So there's basically like a 4 intersection stop sign, and 2 of the roads near each other out of 4 at this intersection meet into another road. It's a very dangerous intersection near where I live. Well, fucking this Amazon driver. Now, my buddy does this all the time when we're driving. If there's a car turning, he'll say, "Don't pull out in front of me, damn it." Because he's a cautious driver, but he's speaking out loud like I do. I'm not a schizophrenic or a weirdo like Linda says. I'm just a fucking loudmouth who talks a lot. That's not any different than anybody else. So anyways, I'm watching this Amazon driver about to make a right onto the road that I'm currently driving on. He's sitting still. Now, I have the right of way. At this point, when what you're about to hear, when he took his foot off the gas and went to go, I was at the point where even if I stepped on the brakes, if I had hit this guy, I would have collided with him. So he was in the wrong. Well, he pulls out in front of me so much to the point where I had to swerve out of the way and end up almost going into the ditch. I was on the grass on the side of the road. My whole SUV, both tires, were on the grass, leaning over, almost about to fall into the ditch because this guy almost hit me that bad. But I was smart. I was very quick coordinatedly, as I mentioned before, and I zipped my wheel to the right before I hit him, and I fucking got in the grass. Well, after this, the guy stops for a second because he thinks he hits me, and I lay on my horn. I'm about to chase him down right. I'm in an SUV. He's in an Amazon truck, but somehow not somehow. The road he turned off of, I was on a straight road. The road he turned off of, probably about 500 feet ahead, was a road that you could turn on to the right as well, which I could have done, as well. And he takes that right, and he actually escapes me. I chased him down for about 2 minutes, and I can't find him. So I said, fuck it. Well, no, if I was lying, like I said in the other story recently, the 40-minute story or the 25-minute story, one of those 2 stories, the recent ones, very recent ones, I mentioned that I swear to God on everything I love, that when I pulled out and started heading home, my buddy pulls up in his car. Like, he was just randomly heading somewhere, and I told him, I was like, I almost got killed. And he believed it because his dad almost died on the same road, so... Whoa, am I fucking rambling, but there's that one. And then another car accident almost got into. Now, this one, again, it's hearsay. You can't prove it, but, it's what it is. So, I already mentioned it in the story. So, I fucking was driving my truck at the time, and it was a big truck. Well, I was so stoned behind the wheel of the truck, high as fuck, so stoned. I was, like, hallucinating, but not like tincture, but I was stoned driving regardless, which isn't good. Which is funny because this court case I'm going to, they can't prove it because my levels will come back. Fuck that bitch. Fuck Linda. She's a stupid cunt. Show this to the court. You can't even show up to my court date, you dumb bitch. Send it to the fucking DA. They can't talk to you. Suck a dick, Linda. But, wow. Anyways, I was driving on a 2-lane road going both ways. So there's 4 lanes total. 2 lanes going my way, 2 lanes going the other way. And I was distracted, I'll admit. And I was so distracted, and what was actually distracting me, you would think, and I would think too, 95% of the times, if you asked me, and I'd be truthful, what distracts me most of the time, it's either food or being on my phone while I'm driving. This time, I swear to God, the sky was so beautiful that I was so stoned, I was staring at the sky, not looking down at the road in front of me. And when I did look down, I was at a green light where the left lane happened to be empty, which you're about to hear, but I didn't know this. And the lane in front of me, I was probably about maybe 10 feet away from going 50 miles an hour, colliding with two cars that were parked. One was stopped at the light to make a left, or no, actually to make a right where it couldn't for some reason. I can't remember. I think there was a car pulling in front of it. It was too fast to react. All I know is I was going straight where either a car can make a right in the right lane or a left in the left lane, which is how it is anyways. And I was in the lane on the right side, and there was a car parked on the right lane at the green light trying to make a right, and then the car behind it was waiting for it to make the right. And so I reacted so poorly to this that by the time I realized I was about to collide with these two cars, I had no choice, in my mind at least, but to cut the wheel so hard to the left that we barely dodged these cars. Now, where this plays in is where this road was a two-lane road, but it was about 50 miles an hour, right? I had such little time to react that when I darted over to the left to dodge these two cars in the right lane out on two-lane road, there was a decent chance that to the left of me was another car that I was going to cut off and cause an accident. But I happened, by the grace of God, left, right, down, up. That just crossed my chest right there. That I was fortunate that because I had no time to react, and I just had to react right away, that there was nobody in the left lane. And we got away with that. I dodged these two cars. I hit a left right away. I cut the wheel. I spun the wheel before braking. I spun the wheel when I saw these two cars in front of us. We were about to hit them. I spun the wheel, hit the brakes, cut it to the right while hitting the brakes, and hit them again. And I dodged the cars by doing that, if you can imagine that. So when I said in another story time out of the recent ones, which I just mentioned, out of those two recent story times in the last month, they've been recorded in February and released of this year, 2025. If you look at those story times, there are more than 40 times that I should be dead. I should be fucking dead. And Jesus Christ has saved me and helped me get away with this dumb shit, which is why I don't do it anymore. You couldn't ask me the last time that anything happened to me. And actually, this last story was the most recent one. And it wasn't even our fault when you hear this explanation. It was the last time I did something fucked up was about 7 months ago. And it wasn't even that bad. Last time I did something truly life endangering was a year ago, and last time I did something that endangered someone else's life was the barn incident 4 years ago. I'm done. If you actually analyze my stories, I'm not a fucking tyrant like Linda claims. I was a disturbed young child who had his mother pass, and I received a lot of money, and I matured because of the money. I have a full-time on-the-books job. I can provide pay stubs to prove it, and I work DoorDash. I can provide all these things to prove it. My enhanced license, my pay stubs for my job, my pay stubs from DoorDash, my fucking enhanced license, my car insurance. I'm up on all my bills. You can't tell me I'm incompetent. I play guitar fluently. I'm about to get a CDL permit. If you claim I'm incompetent, you can basically suck me at that point. This last story, in my buddy, one I've always mentioned here, my best friend, we're coming back from the reservation again. And at this point, it was not only winter. And when I said this was recently, this was about early January of this year, 2025. At this point, I was clean, but he was still smoking. He's clean now, but he was still smoking. And we were on the way back from the res. And it was snowing pretty bad. Now, I own a SUV with four-wheel drive, which it's such a beast. I don't even have to use four-wheel to get through snow. I can use two-wheel. It's such a beast. Great car. Anyways, he drives a sedan, which is not great in the snow. It can go through most snow conditions, but in these snow conditions, it was having a hard time. But he got us home. What did happen, though, which you guys will shit your pants, is my buddy driving down the road. We are right around the corner from his house, about to chill out. And I don't know if you guys have ever had like a motorcycle do this, or even a truck, or even just a car with a loud muffler, but like, you ever had someone pass you on the throughway going so fast that it was like not only loud, but it rattled your car? Well, I swear on everything I love, as I've done in other stories, as I did in this one previously, and as I'm about to do now, with my right hand in the air and you can't see it, swear on God that a Cadillac SUV, Jesus Christ, I'm drunk. Sedan, I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. A Cadillac sedan vehicle passes me and my buddy, and him and I are going in a speed zone where it's about 40 miles per hour. We're going about 35 miles per hour. A Cadillac passes us as a fucking sedan. Sorry, I keep getting SUV and sedan confused. It's because they both start with an S. Passes us going probably 90 and a 40 mile per hour. Well, my buddy, he can tend to be a little loopy when he's high, as we all can. And he's driving, and he doesn't notice, but I proceed to notice probably about 10 seconds after this guy zooms past us. I see cops coming in the rearview mirror with their lights flashing. And I told him, because I knew at that point, because I'm wise, I knew at that point that when them cops were coming, after I saw that guy zip past us so fast and so close to our vehicle, he almost hit us, by the way, that it shook our whole car more than I've ever felt the car shake. I knew he had to have been going at least 100 miles an hour. I knew it was a high-speed chase during a winter storm. Right hand in the air, swear to God on my dead mom and everything that this actually happened. And I pointed at him. I'm like, look in your mirror. And he sees the cops, and he says, oh, shit. He pulls over the side of the road. These cops go by, going about 80, 90. A little bit slower than the sedan Cadillac, but he was still going pretty quick. They were still going pretty quick. And sorry, I just saw a person, and they were still going pretty quick. And they were going after him. There were two cops zoomed by us so fast, it still shook our car on the side of the road. That's how dangerous this shit was. That wasn't even our fault at all. We had nothing to do with it. But it was still pretty bad, dude. But I want to say to you guys, if you listened this far, I appreciate you more than you will ever know. If you want to X out of this video right now, the video is done, by the way. It's about to get sappy, so I can stretch it to about 40 minutes even. However, without you people, there's only 307 or 8 of you. I looked at the subscribers recently. There's only 307 or 8 of you. But each and every one of you matters. If you can spread my YouTube channel and my crazy experiences, legendary activity, smarts, coordination, guitar skills, football throwing skills, dominance, art, photography, drawings. If you could spread all this to people you know and you love, I promise you that I will make you entertained. I might not be able to change your personal life, as no YouTuber can physically do, but I will promise you that I will make you laugh. Cheers. I will also say that if you listen to this story right here, let me say this right now. If you listen to this story right here, all the way through and put up with my drunkenness, and I'm reminding you guys, if you're listening to this and you think I'm stupid, that I am not stupid. I am trashed. I have had half a bottle of vodka, and I'm still drinking it. Please leave a subscription, leave a like, and if you want to, please try to make it positive. If it's negative, I'll just delete it. But try to leave a comment. This video will end at 40 minutes, which is coming up in 50 seconds here. I, from the bottom of my heart, no homo, as the dudes would say, not to be, anti-generational, no homo, because I'm straight, and even though people are transgender, and people are gay and bisexual and whatever, I am straight, and I'm allowed to have my own sexual identity, and I'm sure they will agree with that, right? Am I do have the right to still be straight? Well, I don't give a fuck, because I am straight. But, regardless, no homo, I love you guys. All of you. Every last one of you listening to this. I love you. Take it easy. Even though I don't, it's for the betterment of the world. Trust me on this. Peace and love. Video's ending here. Love you all. Goodbye.